Hi guys, it seems the people at GB News were expecting Keir Starmer to stop the boats overnight and are sort of revelling in the idea that he hasn't achieved that. Now in this report hosted by Tory boy Andrew Pearce, not me applying a nickname to him but a name that he has placed upon himself, he spoke to Mark White, the channel's security editor. You can be reassured the quality of the reporting has not improved since the Tories were kicked out of power. Because the terms used here are out of date, they mislabeled Rwanda as a safe country and wrongly compared it to offshore processing. Have a listen.
Grim milestone reached in the migrant crisis with, we can confirm now, more than 3,000 small boat migrants have crossed the English Channel just since Sir Keir Starmer came to power. So in less than a month, 3,200 now we're at. It follows...
Getting on for 1,000 a week. More than 1,000.
Well, it's very significant numbers that are crossing. In fact, just since yesterday, up to 400 migrants have crossed. And what do we put that down to? We put that down to an improvement in the weather, because it's always the same. Whatever the previous government told us about their efforts to stop the number of Channel migrants coming across from France and how they'd made great inroads the year before. Well, they'd made great inroads in a year that was very unpredictable weather-wise.
And of course we saw one migrant was filmed yesterday, thumbs up to the camera saying this is for Rishi Sunak. He would say, of course, if he was here, of course, if the government hadn't cancelled my Rwanda plan, the first plane might, just might, already have taken off to Rwanda with illegal migrants on board.
Well, in truth, the Labour government still has no answer, or at least none that they've revealed with us, about what they can do, what they will do with the many thousands of people who cross the English Channel, or indeed are just illegal overstayers here anyway, who cannot be returned to their home country because that country of origin is deemed to be unsafe. So countries like Iran or Iraq or Syria or Afghanistan and a multitude of other countries that the lawyers can argue on behalf of the migrants that they can't be returned to. That's why the previous government was looking at Rwanda as a safe third country and potentially other countries going forward as well. That's why you've got a number of European countries, including Germany, looking now at third countries as a potential to send migrants to. So let's see just how long the Labour government can resist the temptation before they then have to look at a third safe country as well.
All right.
Terrible reporting, as you would imagine, from GB News. Now, you notice that there was no mention of Afghanistan, Iran, Syria, when the Tories were in power. Because obviously people were coming from those countries where the UK doesn't have a returns agreement with. But I never heard anyone from GB News ask, well, what about asylum seekers who come from Afghanistan, for example? How are you going to send them back to Afghanistan unless you have a deal with the Taliban? And nobody was asking about that. But now, for some reason, all of a sudden, even James Cleverly in the House of Commons on Monday was asking, what are you going to do about people who come from Afghanistan? So it's a failing, of course, on the Tory side, but failing, of course, on the media side as well. Now, rightly, the new government has dropped the term illegal, so the media should stop using it. But of course, GB News will not stop using the term illegal. He also mentioned Rwanda being a safe country. No, Rwanda is not a safe country. The Supreme Court has deemed it unsafe. So why are you suggesting that Rwanda is a safe country? Because the Tory party said it was safe? Because the Tory government said it was safe? Who should we believe? The Supreme Court or the Tory party? Well, this reporter seems to believe that the Tory party is to be believed over the Supreme Court justices. Now, he also mentioned other countries in Europe are now following the Rwanda scheme that Britain has put in place. No, that's not true. Now, he's talking perhaps about offshoring. He didn't say it precisely, but specifically. But if he's talking about offshore processing, for example, in Italy, what happens is some asylum seekers are sent to Albania, they're processed there, and if their claim is successful, they're sent back to Italy to continue on to refugee status. That's not what Rwanda was about. Rwanda was about sending people to Rwanda to be forgotten about. Look, we know the only way to stop the boats is by creating safe routes. So if Labour start doing this, you'll start to see the number of small boat crossings drop. This is what they should be doing. Politically, you'll see the numbers drop and they can do a bit of a victory lap on that. But more importantly, humanely, it will reduce the number of people dying in the sea, which should be a priority. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.